Okay, so I am in one of Rob Moore and Mark Homer's properties that ex-HMO, was an HMO that we have turned into serviced accommodation, and we're pretty much done. So the photos have been taken today. Last ones, well, some still to be done. So the photographer is still here, and I just thought I'd do a little guided tour. I quite like that camera shot with that behind me. Do a little guided tour and give you some key learnings from getting the photos done in service accommodation. And I'm going to let you speak to the photographer, or not let you speak, but I'm going to quickly introduce the photographer as well at the end when I get down to the ground floor. It's actually a 4-story building that I'm in here, guys. So I've started at the top, so you don't hear me puffing and panting on my way up the stairs. Yeah, 4-story building, ex-HMO. So some key learning points. So I'll talk about it from my perspective as a service accommodation operator, and then I'll let Chrissie Martin from Sweet 16 give a little few pointers from her as a photographer, which I'm sure from the both of us you'll find useful when it comes to getting your photos done in service accommodation. Because remember, your shop window for your product is your listing, so your photos on the OTAs, online travel agents like Booking.com and Airbnb, and your own website, etc. So it's really, really important that you get the photos done right and the property is presented properly, because ultimately, like I said, that is your shop window to the world, and that will reflect just how much money, those things will reflect how much money you're going to make in serviced accommodation. So I'm going to flick the camera around and then just show you around this property as I go down and talk about it. So what we've got there, so some of you will recognise things like this. That is from the range, and some of the items in the property we kept from when it was an HMO, and some of the items not. So in fact, one of Mark's team members has actually moved some furniture items from other properties. They've obviously got quite a few, so kept in storage and stuff. So most of the stuff had to go that was previously being used for HMO, because normally it's not good enough for serviced accommodation use. So we've done a full refurb. Well, we have project managed the full refurb. Rob Moore, Mark Homer have paid for it. So you can see in here, used to be a bath in here, so it's a bit of a funky thing. If you look at my previous social media posts, you will notice you will notice that in that bathroom there was a bath in there, and all we did is we got that taken out. Service accommodation, if you've got a bath as well, then fine. But if there's a toss-up between a bath with a shower over the top of the bath, then I'd just rather have a walk-in shower cubicle all day long. So that's what we decided to do. Okay, so a little look in this room here. So as you can see, it's looking all nice. And we decided to put televisions into, really important for mirrors as well in properties. So it's got little chest of drawers there. So we actually put televisions, they're cheap as chips these days, guys, in all of the bedrooms. As long as you've got Wi-Fi, you can have a smart telly that can connect to all of the normal channels via a Wi-Fi signal. So have a little look around in here. So again, got mirrors, got telly. So this is actually the master bedroom. Nice, lots of storage in there. Let me just put my drink down. I'll show you in the ensuite in here. So didn't bother ripping out this. So this shower cubicle was already existing, so we didn't rip this bathroom out, because it's in an ideal world, when you're turning a house into service accommodation, you'd make everything brand new, right? But at the end of the day, this is a service accommodation management property, so it's not a rent to SA. We are managing it on behalf of the owner, who is Rob Moore and Mark Homer. And ultimately, with SA management, the owner of the property finances the refurb, right? And so you don't pay with, this isn't a rent to SA, so we're not paying rent and deposit or anything like that. The owner furnishes it, and if there's a refurb that's needed, the owner does that. And the way it works is once the bookings are coming in, us as the SA management company just take a percentage of revenue. So we take a commission, charge a commission on the revenue, and the remainder goes to the owner. So normally it's more money to the owner than if they were just getting fixed rent. So therefore, it's more advantageous or beneficial in the long run for the owner to spend good money on providing a quality product so that it makes more money. So the initial investment does definitely dictate how much money is going to be made from the property. And when we're doing SA management, we have a conversation with the owner and say, look, in order for this to be presented well and to look good, it's going to need X, Y, and Z done to it. Is that something that you are willing to do? And we can obviously get quotes and things to give them an idea of roughly how much it's going to cost. And if it's a yes, then we're more likely to say yes to managing the property. If it's a no, we might actually say, well, do you know what? Go and find a different SA management company, because all we're going to be dealing with is complaints from guests because there's too much wrong with the property. But as you'll probably agree, this one looks nice. So Rob and Mark have put their hand in their pocket in order to get this one presented nicely. So taking you into another bedroom here. That'll be me having me drink. I've got Lemsip in this tea. You might have noticed that I've got a bit of a sore throat, bit of a voice issue going on here. So sipping me Lemsip. So as I said, the photos are being taken. So there's stuff that Chrissie, the photographer, has done for staging. She hasn't, she's obviously still doing it, so it's not guest ready as we speak. So into the lounge, as you can see, there's a little balcony there going out onto the garden. Grass cut today so that you've got the little lines all looking nice. And again, things like this, it was all set up nicely for the photos earlier on. So I think you'll agree that this property is going to be received really well from the guests. It's all nice and refurbished and looking nice, and definitely is going to be a superior product compared to other stuff that you will notice out there. Do you know when people are saying, oh, well, there's lots of SAs in my town? Let's just have a little look around in here. So this room here we are presenting as a study. So that sofa you saw just there is a sofa bed. So actually there's 4 standalone bedrooms, but then that study has got a sofa bed in, and can also obviously sleep a couple of people on it as well. But so getting back to what I was saying, when people are saying, oh, there's lots of SAs in my town, but actually have a good look at them, look at the photos, look at the reviews. And that's what you're competing with. So it shouldn't deter you if there are quite a few SAs in your town, because if you have a proper look at them, and always go through to the booking page, you see exactly how much it does cost to stay there. But if you have a proper look at them and looking at the photos, looking at the reviews, that's your competition. So ultimately, your aim is to be the cream that rises to the top, and therefore you're going to be the people that are able to get higher night rate and better occupancy in the property. So there's actually another, we're on the ground floor as we speak, so there's a little WC, so that's the front door coming into the property. And then we'll just go into the kitchen, and we've got Chrissie is in here, and she's busy taking photos as we speak. It is a good day to have a good day, absolutely. So as you can see, this place is looking really nice, and we put in a magnet kitchen in here. That's the utility room in there, washing machine. So magnet kitchen put in here via the LNPG discount, so a really good price on that, and it's a better standard of kitchen, and it's cheaper than Howden's, and you don't have to go and have the Howden's, is it Lamona? Howden's cookers and things like that in the property. You can actually choose the normal stuff. That's, I think, a better standard. So yeah, LNPG kitchen done, or magnet kitchen done via LNPG. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is just introduce you to Chrissie, and I want you to just hear from a photographer's point of view what would make life easier for a photographer to basically give you a much better product. So I'm just going to turn the camera around so that I can introduce Chrissie here. So in fact, what I'm going to do, in fact, I'll just come out in here, Chrissie, so that it's a lot easier. Okay, so Chrissie, what for people watching and they're going to start it, or carry on in service accommodation or start in service accommodation, what would be some useful things for people to bear in mind when it comes to getting photos done? What do you think?
The biggest thing, might seem really obvious, is to have your property clean. Basically, if your property is not more or less guest ready, then it's not photographer ready. So have been some in the past, and it's not to say that I can't get around it, I can, but it's much more challenging if the property is not clean. The beds need to be made. Yeah. They need to have clean, fresh linen. I did bring a steamer, so if there is any issues, it's not a problem. But basically, you should remember that not every photographer will do that. Some photographers will literally photograph what they see. Yeah, no,
I'll agree with that. So sometimes you see a photo that's been taken and you think, oh, for goodness sake, you could have just stuffed that wire out of the way so it's not visible or something. I know it can be Photoshopped, but there are sometimes some things that are just annoying that a photographer didn't do. But I've noticed that you've been very diligent in terms of making sure it all looks fab, and we haven't needed to do your thinking for you, Chrissie, so I'm very appreciative of that. And so what has been good about this property, and therefore what therefore is bad about other properties that when you're taking photos?
This is in fantastic condition, so it's actually very photogenic.
A bit like myself.
Which always makes my life easier, because then
I'll try and keep you in this shot, because you stop moving away from me.
Then I can just focus on what I want to do and what I'm going to put where, because I will move things around, and some photographers don't do that, but I do that, and just try different scenarios, because I like to give choice as well. And so that you've got, obviously, when the algorithms in booking.com and stuff, they like the photos to be changed up a bit, so I do try to probably over deliver slightly on the photos.
So you're I mean, you said to me earlier you're going to give us like 100 photos of this place, right? So it's a big house, so it's easier to have loads and loads of photos. But actually, what Chrissie mentioned there, the algorithms on your booking.com and Airbnb, quite often when you should have professional photos, and at least 26 professional photos, because then that gives you maximum points with booking.com and Airbnb in terms of the algorithm. So professional photos, don't use smartphone photos or any other type of phone photos or whatever. Definitely professional photos, and at least 26. But because Chrissie's going to give us a load, what actually boosts the algorithm as well is when you just put new photos in. It could be a new photo of the same room and a very similar angle, but effectively you're waking up the algorithm because you are uploading new photos, and it boosts you up the ranking. So that's a nice little tip there when it comes to your photos as well. Anything else to add on this?
Light bulbs.
Light bulbs.
Light bulbs. If you want the lights on, bedside lamps, you need an extension. If they don't reach, then they need an extension lead.
Extension cables.
Light bulbs. I have put my iPhone inside some before, just to pretend that they're on. But yeah, it's a lot easier. If the basics, basically, it's got to be clean. It's got to be fresh, fresh bedding. Got to have light bulbs, and the cables are a bugbear, but I can edit, but some photographers also charge extra for editing. So
and I've noticed
them to do, the more they will potentially charge you as well.
And I've noticed you brought your own stuff as well. So you brought lots of cheese and wine and Oh, yeah, right. So, and it's just really important to stage the property well for the photos so that guests can actually imagine sitting down, having some food and a glass of wine or whatever. And so that just makes the property a lot more appealing. So the photos are selling the benefit, selling sort of a lifestyle type scenario for your guests as well. So it's all good stuff to help you get more bookings and therefore make more money. So Chrissie here is from Suite 16. That's the name. Sunny 16, not Sunny 16, beg your pardon. And Chrissie Martin as well. So Sunny 16, Chrissie Martin. If you look her up on, so you're on Facebook, aren't you?
Yeah,
it's Chrissie
Facebook,
Martin.
Yeah,
and Sunny 16, Facebook and Instagram. So highly recommend you use Chrissie. I've seen her work, and so we've had Chrissie in units before, so highly recommend using Chrissie for yourself. And you said that you're willing to travel all over the UK,
nationwide, worldwide,
even worldwide if you're willing to pay the travel, etc. But yeah, so you're willing to travel, and so absolutely. But you're actually based where was
East Sussex. I'm based
in East Sussex.
I think I've got only ever shot once at East Sussex.
I've never done it once in East Sussex. So Chrissie's happy because we introduced Chrissie to quite a few people in our network who were scattered all around the UK. Yeah. So if you might already have photos done, highly suggest maybe getting them done again, and it'd be worth the investment to get them done again, so that you're effectively showcasing your product an awful lot better. So hopefully that was usul, everybody. I'll go on then. I was about to leave Chrissie to carry on.
Just double check with your photographer what they are expecting and how they work. So if they aren't someone that's going to move your cushions around or put a plant in or something like that, that's absolutely fine. But you just need to know that, because you don't want to be expecting them to be doing one type of photographer and then that's not what you're getting. So
yeah, sure.
So just make sure you ask questions before you book them, they will definitely want the property to be
clean and well presented. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so hopefully that was useful, everybody. Here's to your success in serviced accommodation. And from a rather croaky deep voice, property soldier, remember, your future needs you. Take care.